What's up, guys? We're going to look at our final project here for Intro to Linux Admin, Intermediate Level. So what we have here is we have a cron job to back up a MySQL database, okay? That's all this really is, although we see a lot going on here, right? But it's a little bit more simple than you think, okay? So let's break this down piece by piece, part by part, okay? So if we notice here, this first part here kind of looks like a cron job, right? And you'd be right. That's what this is. This is a cron job for a MySQL backup, okay? So we have 0 here. So on the 0 minute of the 0 hour, which is really just midnight, right? Because it goes in 0 to 24 format. So 0 is going to be midnight and run every day, every month, or every day of the month, every day, okay? So this is running every day at midnight, basically, is what this is saying here. And then we have a variable date. And we're setting that equal to a long string of stuff here, okay? What does this mean? Well, we have this first part here, and you'll notice that this is a path to a file called date, right? Well, what that actually is that's the full path of the date command, okay? So let me show you guys something here. I think we've talked about the which command before. If not, I'm going to show you now. So we run the which command, W-I-C-H, W-H-I-C-H, and then another command such as date. It gives you the full path of the date command, which is user or usr bin date, right? So all the commands actually reside within your system, guys. They all reside within a file, and all those files, have a full path to them. Okay, the system has to see where these commands are and look into the actual executable file and the binary file and see what's actually going on there, and it reads that and does whatever the command is. Okay, so all that means, guys, is that every command has a full path to it. The date command happens to be /usr/bin/date. So if we go back to our project here, the reason I told you that is because when we do cron jobs and we list a command in it, we need to use the full path of the command in the cron job. We do this, one, for security, okay? Because if we just do the date command, hackers can actually, get in there and basically hijack the command because it doesn't have the full path in it, right? They can put something false before it and mess the system up. And two, we want to actually tell the system exactly what command we're using, okay? And then after that, we have a weird format set up here. We have all these different numbers and symbols and percentage signs and colons and things like that, okay? So let's actually run this command and see what's going on here, all right? So first of all, we're just running the date command. That's all that full path is doing, right? And then we're formatting that how we want, okay? So we're doing a quotation mark plus, we're saying percentage Y, capital Y, means put in the year, the full year, so all 4 numbers. And we're going to put in a backslash, and we're going to say percentage sign, and then we want the month, so percentage sign M, and then another backslash. And we're saying put in the day, so percentage sign lowercase d, right? And then we're going to separate those with a dash, and we're going to say backslash. Now, put in the hour, capital H, okay? Then we're putting a colon, and say now, what we want to do is we want to put in the minute, okay? So colon, and then percentage, capital M, and then colon, and then say now, put in the second. So percentage, capital S. Let's hit enter. Oops. I think I forgot something here. Oh yeah, I forgot a very important symbol here, and that's the quotation mark. I forgot to close that out. There we go. So now it puts out this nice format for us. Oops, I even put in an extra slash there that I didn't want. There we go. So it spits out this nice format for us, right? We have the year 2020, the month 08, the day 29, then we have the 18th hour, 32 minute, and 39 second, all right? This happens to be my actual date and time right now, okay? And if we go back up to that command, and I can put any type of symbols or delimiters I want here. I could put on these as well some backslashes, right? And then when I hit enter, you notice now, well, this hour and minute and second have backslashes, right? But that doesn't look very good, and that's kind of confusing to read. It might be confusing as to what we're actually trying to say, so we're going to keep it the other way. So we're going to say plus percentage, capital Y, because we want the full year. If I did a lowercase y, I would only do 2 zeros, so I want 2020. Backslash, percentage M, backslash, percentage G for day. So year, month and day. I'm going to separate the date and the time with the dash. And I'm going to say percentage capital H. I'm going to say colon, because that's usually how a time is written out, right? Is with colons in between it. Say percentage M for minute, colon, and percentage capital S for second, right? Oops. Again, I forgot that important quotation mark. We got to end it with quotation mark. So that looks like a lot cleaner format, right? So let's go back to our project here. So that was a long explanation for what's going on here. Basically, all we're doing is we're setting a variable, date, equal to the date command formatted in the way we just showed it, okay? So all this is doing is it's giving the date variable the date command of the current day, today, okay? Whenever this happens to run, it's going to give you the exact year, month, and day, and hour, minute, second, okay? And then what we have going on here, guys, we have a semicolon. Now, I did talk about this before. You might not remember, though. So when we do a semicolon like this, all we're doing is we're saying, hey, complete this command, and on a new command line, we're going to run this command now, okay? So like I just said over here, guys, what we have here is the full path of the command MySQL dump, okay? I can't show this to you guys because our servers aren't configured to run MySQL servers, right? These are very simple machines that we're using. They're not set up as MySQL servers. But this is the command you would use, and what this command does is it actually takes a MySQL server and it dumps the files, right? And what we have here is -u for username, and you would type in your username for your MySQL server, and -p, and then the password that you use for that server, and then the database name, okay? So what's going on here is we're logging in using our username and our password to this database, and we're running the command MySQL dump, or dumping the files, okay? And we're going to redirect that dump into our /user/home /uppercase user /database name. So basically, we're just dumping that into our home directory here, and we're going to name it whatever the database name is. So let's say the database was Kevin's database. So it would just be /user/home /kdowns /Kevin's database backup _. And here, we're calling that variable that we set here, right? So we just put in the date that we ran this job, which we verified here, okay? So if I were to run this today, what would happen is it would spit out this date here, so this part. But this time would actually be different here. Since we're running the cron job at midnight, it would actually show 00:00:00, or it might be a little bit different. It might have actually ran it at, a couple seconds past midnight, so it might actually be 2 seconds past midnight. But you get the idea, right? We're setting up how we want to name these backups so that when we go to look at them, right, we know exactly what database the backup's for and at what date and time the backup was made, right? And we end it with the extension .sql, so we know it's a SQL database file, right? Okay, and we have another colon here, semicolon, meaning, okay, so we've run this command here, all of this. On a new line, we're going to gzip that file that we just created, okay? So guys, like I said, this is actually a lot more simple than we thought it was, right? This is a simple cron job to create a backup of your MySQL database, right? So it's running at midnight. We're setting a variable called date, and we're filling that variable with the value of the date command, and then whatever year, month, and day, and hour, minute, second that this cron job actually runs. And then we're saying also, after that, run the MySQL dump command, and we're going to log into the database using our username and our password to this database. So we're logging into this database with the username and password, and we're running the MySQL dump server. And we're going to redirect that output to our home directory and this file here, which is going to be named, whatever the database name is, backup _, and we're using the variable date which is here, so it'll get filled in with whatever day, time, hour, minute, second that it's being run. We're running it with the SQL extension, okay? And saying once that's done, then go ahead and gzip that file that it just created. And that's it, guys. It's creating a backup, it's gzipping that file for you, and it's running this automatically so you never have to worry about it. You can have ease of mind. This is going to run every day at midnight, and you will always have a backup of your MySQL files, right? So that's awesome, guys, right? That's nice. That's why automation is such a nice thing. You don't have to remember every night at midnight to get on, log on, create a backup. This will do it for you. And that's why scripting like this and Cronjob are so useful and what really sets you apart from other Linux admins, guys. So hopefully this made sense, and it allowed you to realize, you know, how you can start using all these commands and cron jobs and scripts together to really start automating processes for you guys. If you need a little bit extra help, remember, go to those PowerPoints, look at the end of the slides, follow those links for monthly and weekly plans for tutoring sessions for Linux administration, okay? And also those private sessions for the Linux and Bash scripting, okay? Because I know this Bash scripting is a lot, guys, and it can take a lot of practice. We do have courses available for it, so definitely register for those if you want to get a little bit better grasp on it. In conjunction with those private tutoring sessions, you guys are going to be set off great, okay? So thanks for joining me, guys. Hopefully you learned a lot, and I hope to see you in other courses.